Bryant Family Medicine, All Sports Media presents Around the Mound Baseball and Softball Show. I am Mark Greger alongside Edward Hall and Ryan Garnett, wherever he's at. Maybe that's him right there. I think he was hiding in the corner somewhere, but fellas, how you do it?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. Got to watch some great baseball and softball action last week, and looking forward to some big time matchups this coming week.
Ryan, are you there?
Yes, Sam. Uh, there I am. I'll ghost out there for a second, but I'm doing pretty good. Just trying to brace the heat outside.
So, Edward, hopefully you was able to get us all set up and work your little magic like you always do for us.
I'm pretty sure it did.
Yeah, the viewers are starting to pop up now. So, uh, gotta hand it to you. You did pretty good about saving us. And first off, before we get along with the show here, there's a StreamYard issue where there's a third party issue. It makes it really hard for us to be able to stream these shows on their Facebook pages and stuff. So we're trying to some gimmick some stuff and trying to work around it. So again, anybody that's watching us on their pages, if you don't care, please comment. Let us know that you're seeing us on our pages or baseball or softball pages, and just let us know if you're hearing us good and if everything just seems to be normal at this point. If not, like I said, just let us know so then we can play around with it, so then we can put together the best broadcast we know how to. But that being said, again, want to thank our sponsor, Bryant Family Medicine, for sponsoring us and giving us opportunities to be able to do this. And cannot say enough for them. And a big shout out to the person who actually put them up there for me because I completely missed them. But again, a big shout out to Bryant Family Medicine and sort of sort of had a Edward Ryan. Can I say a big event, but something that happened today that sort of just shows how the shows the where we're heading. We started these pages. We're new, not new at what we're doing, but these pages are new and beginning this baseball and softball year. Of course, we start at zero, but why are we in now, Ryan? 2 months. Edward, help me out. 2 months
Two,
in, so
somewhere around that ballpark.
having a hard time hearing you. A lot of static right now, Ryan. Edward is on my side.
Nah, man, I heard a little bit of static too, but yeah, we're roughly a little bit over 2 months there.
So relatively new, but sort of wanted to post this up here because we wanted to thank everybody that's made this happen. And that was originally posted for our softball page, but all of a sudden the baseball page said, "Hey, what about me?" And all of a sudden kicked in over 500 also. Edward, Ryan, that's pretty good.
That's a huge accomplishment. Again, that's a big thank you to all of our followers, our viewers, and just everybody out wanting to keep tabs on all the student athletes and all the promotion that we've been doing for them, and all the recognition that the student athletes get also, and a big shout out to all of our viewers and followers.
Yeah, and even tonight, the views are good, and I appreciate that for sure. And one promise that I will make, Edward will make, Ryan will make. Um, we're, I guess we're the poor people's club, but we'll definitely try to put the best product out for you and promote these student athletes the best way that we know how. And and that's all we could do. And we're not perfect. Even yesterday, when I was posting finals, if anybody actually paid close attention to that, I was a day off on the dates, but I'd already made them. Like, it's too late now unless I just go back and race them. We was in the middle of calling the game. Just sometimes you just have moments like that. You like, hopefully, people understand we're not perfect, and we're just trying to do the best we can. And again, any of the viewers, if you're hearing us live on our Facebook pages, or baseball or our softball page, please comment. Let us know that you're seeing us normally on that page. We think we've got the glitch fixed, and please comment on that and let us know that you are seeing us and hearing us on our Facebook baseball or softball page. But
And to piggyback off what you said a little bit about promoting the student athletes, you know I say it week in week out. It's one thing to if I just sat at home, wrote stories, and made pretty little graphs, but that ain't giving none of the student athletes any justice, any recognition. The recognition comes when you go to the game, interview these student athletes, watch all the hard work that they have been putting in. Because all these student athletes put in a major amount of hard work. So, staying home and going to the game is two different things. When you're there, you get a better feel for all the work that these student athletes are putting in.
well, you proved that to yourself yesterday on the graph that you made that literally had over 80 likes, 30 some comments. It was unreal. I kept sharing that to you. I'm like, and and these student athletes and the coaches and the families, they appreciate that. I think we got a comment on here. Somebody it looks like somebody said everything sounds and looks good. So Everett, I believe you saved the day again.
Well, that's
Uh,
well, that's what I'm here for.
and but that being said, let's bring on our first guest, and just what a season that him and his team had last year, and what a season they're having this year. But it's hard not to like this old guy. I'm not gonna say old guy. He's a little bit younger than me, but um, Hunter, thank you for coming on. I know there's a thing called school and all that other stuff. I know you got a few other things on your agenda, but thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Uh, I mean, I know this year's this year, but before we start this year, it, I personally, it was hard not to just fall in love with Yuns and your team last year and the magical run that Yuns did. I mean, nobody has even kept up anything if they didn't know that Yuns were defending state champs, and just I know this year you're a business and doing the things that you're doing, but do you ever just sit back and harp on that a little bit?
Yeah, there's plenty of moments I think of last year and what happened and who all was in our lives and what we were doing during this time last year. And it's just a lot of it has really helped move me forward this year. And we're just trying to, as of now, focus on what's to come because we're getting really close to postseason and just trying to recreate the magic we had last year.
Absolutely, and that's leading me into my next question. Just thoughts of your season at this point.
You know, the season this year so far obviously is not how last year's went yet because last year we only lost 4 games and it's a big difference going from how we started this year to now. But it's a completely different team. We've lost our 2 aces with Grant and Mason, and then 2 big hitters with Sam and Stack. Lost my mind for a second.
Yeah.
And I think our season's heading in the right direction. didn't start out the best, and you hear all the talk about it's a completely different team. There's no chance this year, but we're on the right path, and I think there's good things to come.
Well, Hunter, I'm sure you'll agree with me. It ain't how you start; it's how you finish, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're definitely. I don't think you have to look at them that win loss stuff here toward the end, and definitely can see the improvement, and sort of seeing that little click coming together. Now it's coming together. I mean, I just hard not to see what you are doing at this point. But before I wear you out with questions, I'll let Edward and Ryan talk to you.
Well, we did get to cover you quite a bit last season, and this season I'm looking at some of your stats, and I think it's like 4 games, 3 games that hasn't been posted. You've already got a couple home runs this season. I think it's like 22 RBIs, and you're 4 for 4 on your stolen bases. So I just gotta ask, how do you keep putting up, numbers like that game in, game out?
Well, I think it's kind of similar to like how a track or a cross country person runs. Got to set that good pace, and you don't want to wear yourself out. And I just put everything I have on the line for this team, and then I'm just blessed to have the ability given to me to be able to produce those kind of numbers.
Absolutely.
I mean, well said, and you can't say nothing but praise about your team, because at the beginning of the season till now, you can tell that y'all are a total different unit, and everything's moving in the direction that I'm sure that you and your coach, and your team would want. But what would you say is the biggest difference that you've seen from your team from game one till now that's made you all into the team you are?
I think the biggest difference from the beginning of the year really is we were still trying to figure stuff out. We didn't have a definite lineup. There was always a different hitter every single game, and pitchers specifically didn't necessarily have their stuff earlier in the year, which is for everybody most of the time. And then I think now our hitting is finally throughout the entire lineup starting to click, and our pitchers are now throwing 6, 7 innings per game. Being able to go the full mile, and I think that's really the biggest difference.
So have you ever thought about trying to pitch on the mound there?
I mean, there's always that thought, but
the man does got the arms. He could probably throw 100-mile-per-hour fastball. It's hard not to notice the guns.
Well,
right
see,
there.
that's why I asked. I mean, you see them guns right there. I was thinking that he could throw easy about 100-mile-an-hour fastball. So
No arm wrestling Hunter for sure. Heck no arm wrestling him.
But
can you imagine a man like that on the mound with his arms sitting there rearing back, getting ready to throw you a fastball? That would absolutely be intimidating. I mean, don't hit me with that ball. Yeah, no way. Mm-mm.
but I do see that you play a little bit of first base and catcher, and I've always got to ask every catcher that I talk to, is it hard to move with all that gear that you have to put on to play catcher?
It hinders a little bit, but throughout the fall, we have our coaches working on us every single day to be able to get used to it. The gears at this point, it's like a part of me. I'm able to move in ways with my gear that I can't without it, or it would hurt my body. So I just think it's a pros and cons, but I think at this point, my coaches have worked me enough. It's just kind of an extension of me.
I can completely understand that, and as a catcher, I know I would want to sometimes. I mean, I've asked a few catchers to slide over a little bit when pitches come, but have you ever been at a game and a umpire not they be so inconsistent and you've just wanted to miss a pitch a time or two?
Well, there's always been the thought in my mind, but you do that one miss and then it's never going back your way again. But you always got to think sometimes.
I understand that, and being a catcher, how do you keep from your hand not being so sore? Because especially last season, I seen some of them pitches coming in with a lot of heat, and you just made it look like it was just nothing. Like, here, I got it. Don't worry about it.
I don't really have too much to say about that. Just you got to catch it in the spot, and if you don't, it hurts. I'll tell you that. It really leaves a sting in your hand.
Well, before I asked all the questions, Ryan, I'll give you a chance there.
Going back to your schedule. I see y'all have played a tough schedule. Has playing that schedule so far prepared you for what's left in the regular season going into postseason play?
It's hard to hear you, Ryan. You're really static and echoing out real bad. I don't know if he heard. Did you hear his question, Hunter?
Well, I kind of heard. I'm thinking what was said was about the schedule. It was hard. It is a hard schedule, and Coach Choate made it that way for a reason to test us. And I think from what we've seen so far and what's to come, I don't have any doubt in my mind that we're going to be ready for postseason. With how our season and how coaches schedule us, we play, our district and maybe two other teams in our region. But Coach Choate, he makes the schedule a way that we see enough competition so that we're good for the region tournament.
And let's see, where was that? That's it for a moment. I'll think of my other one. I lost train of thought there for a second.
He's having a little bit of internet issues. I think he'll try to fix it there. Hunter, I've been known to hit the hard hitting questions, so I'm gonna have to ask you this: any one of you out, you get out there to help Coach Choate mow the grass? Any?
Coach Choate's real picky about his. He's the one that only ever does it, and he enjoys it. That's like his little time away from home, and he.
So when he needs to mellow out, he just gets on the little mower and just gets himself. That's his reality. Okay, I can see that. I sort of like using them zero turns myself, but absolutely keeps that field just beautiful. I love that field. Anybody goes there, that man definitely puts the work into it. But talk about Coach Show. I can personally tell you, I love him to death. I love talking to him, but just tell us a little bit about it.
Man, Coach Choate's the full package. I couldn't ask for anybody else to be able to coach me, and it's not just the coaching that he has brought to this team and to his past teams and to the future, but he's really just an amazing person, role model. He pushes us down, not pushes us. He leads us through the path that is laid out for us and helps us build new paths for us in case there's not a clear sight for us. And I just couldn't ask for nobody. He's made me the person I am today. He's helped me gain so much experience and have made me such a great baseball player and person in life.
You've been a senior, and I know you got several senior teammates. Could for the ones that ain't familiar, that hadn't been watching baseball at all, but could you just tell us a little bit about your other teammates, just the seniors, mainly?
This senior class is special, and I knew that coming in as a sophomore that our class would be, and you can really see that from the beginning of the season to now. You got Matthew Wright, an incredible defensive player at shortstop. I have no doubt in my mind if a ball's hit to him, he's making a play, and he's really, really grown into the power that he's had at bat, and is absolutely raking balls when he makes contact. You got Bryce Anderson, a phenom athlete. He can throw the ball, hit the ball, run fast, slide, steal. He's a 5'6" tall athlete that no coach or teammate could ask for anything else. You got Brady Bargo, which losing our two aces last year, he's stepping up to the point that we need him. And I think that, as the season's progressing, he's really starting to find his stuff again that he had last year. And, he's gaining velo, and he's playing second now when EJ Allen's pitching, and Vargo's doing his job. And then you got Tyler Rose, and he's just a phenom in the outfield. Can cover distance like no one else. He has power. He has speed. And then when he gets on the mound, he's feeling it. I don't see nobody that can hit him. And then the last senior, you got Jared Crowley, and you can talk. People can talk, about Jared and many baseball athletes. Like, he comes in, pitches, closes, does what he needs to do. He does a job. Tyler comes out. Tyler goes on the mound. He goes in the outfield, and he does exactly what we need him to do. But overall, over for that, Jared Crowley is just an awesome person to play with. In the dugout, on the field, in the locker room, he keeps us all in check, and he really, really leads the young guys, and really cheers on everybody with everybody.
I got one more, and I'll let Edward and Ryan finish because I know you're probably getting tired of talking with us. We stay here and talk to you all evening. I mean, we love you to death, and of course, love your team to death. But of course, your name being Hunter, this question just hit me. I mean, last year Jens was sort of the Hunters. This year you're sort of the, gotta say, Hunted. So, which one would you rather be? Would you rather be a hunter or a hunted?
Ooh. Ah, that's a good question. Being the hunted this year it's awesome. Seeing everybody's best player. Everyone's out to get you. But me personally, I love being the hunter.
That's what I figured you'd
fight for
say.
anything. Yeah, being our big saying, being blue collar, fighting for it. We'll scratch and claw and bite until we get what we need and get what we want.
Absolutely. Edward Ryan, I'll let you finish your questions with.
All right, so I got a couple questions I always have to ask every student athlete we have on. And the first one is, through your time playing baseball, what would be probably your most favorite game that you've played in?
Oh, there's a lot of games there. Man, that last state game has to be it. Like, it's obviously the cliche that everyone would pick if they won a big game. The big, you win the whole thing, all this, but the emotions, the fans, the outcome, it just, I didn't play the best at the plate, batting that game, but I just think that we all collectively as a team did what we needed to do to win, and the emotions were just enough, and I couldn't have asked for a game than that.
I mean, that right there would be, a memorable game. But my last question for you is, who has been your most favorite player or team to play against?
Play against. It's got to be Corbin. Just the whole rivalry. You see in college the game or rival week and all this, but you always know that's going to be a good game. There's no bad games against Corbin. It's always close, and you never know who's going to win it. But I think that's just got to be it.
All right.
I'm still dealing with my cough too, but we y'all, y'all think y'all's district is one of the tougher in the 13th region. When you got South Law and you got Whitley County there, and then you got Corbin. How hard is it to play right there? Can y'all hear me?
They're
Yeah,
still really, really bad, like robot out and stuff.
I even went downstairs.
I think I got it though. The 50th district. You go around the 13th region, and there's hard districts everywhere, but this district is, you know, in the past has been a winning district in the 13th region. You know, you got South Laurel winning a lot when they used to be just Laurel County and in South Laurel. Corbin wins it all the time. Whitley is really big in winning the district and winning. It's just that district is so hard fought, and you know anybody could win the district, and then that team goes on and has a big run in the region. I just think it is a very, very tough district.
Mark,
Hunter, before we let you go, I'm gonna let Edward do this if he can get to it. Edward, he does a little something for you, and yeah, it's sort of a thank you for you to give us your time. Well, I know you got a thing called school and being a senior, but we do really, really appreciate you for coming on, giving us your time, and but Edward made up a little something for you. I'm sure. But once after the show, it'll be shareable to you and your family and your friends or whatever to use it any way you want to use it.
that's nice.
Yeah, he Edward's pretty good at that sometimes, but he'll message it to you or put it on his page. You could any of your folks or family or friends or whatever they could share it off his pages or hers or however they want to do if you just want to use it. But Hunter, I do want to thank you for coming on and um, I'm sure you already know I sort of work for the same school system, so it's hard for me not to love you guys and love what you are doing down there, and especially Coach Shope. He's got a place in my heart, and love him, and you got a really really good leader in Coach Shope, and they don't get no better than him. But I do want to wish you personally the best of luck and best of luck for your future and whatever your future holds. Just remember us poor guys, every now and then. But good luck to you personally and good luck to your team.
Thank you.
It's a great you and love what they're doing down there. And that brings us into our next guest. And you're talking about a young lady that just well, let's just bring her on, then we'll brag on her. But Danny, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
It was hard not to see that the Windians got the other night, and you opened eyes and like people that might have been sleeping on Corbin a little bit, all of a sudden, here comes Corbin, and just it's hard not to see what you're doing also. So before we go into you individually, just so far give us your thoughts of the season and where you're at.
I do think we had a little rough start to the season. We didn't have a home game until a couple of weeks ago, so I think that threw us off a little bit. But we've had home games. We've kind of got back into the swing of things. And I think our win on Thursday against North Laurel really boosted our confidence. And I think that's going to be like a big turning point of this season.
Absolutely, and that's what me and Neighbor was talking about earlier. A game like that, just exactly how you said it, Danny, could absolutely just the pace the road you was going send you a whole new different direction, and I think that's what's going to happen to you. But it's hard, and I know you're all about team. Trust me, I've talked to a lot of Corbin folks. You're all about team first, but it's hard not to see what you're doing, not only on the mound this year, but you're knocking the ball around a little bit too. So, are they anything extra that you did on the off season that's um, because you've always been a good player, but you've taken it up a notch.
Yeah, so after high school season is over, I play from the 1st of June all the way until the first weekend in November. I play travel ball. Um, yeah, I play 9 months out of the year. The only really 3 months off season I have are December, January, and February. But in those 3 months, I go to lessons. I hit every week, multiple times a week. I'll pitch. So I take about 6 weeks off every year, and that's right after my fall ball season. And then right after Christmas, I go really hard and really prepare for high school season.
Wow.
That's a lot of work and dedication.
I mean, how do you come back to that? Edward, Ryan, I'll let you answer the question. Wow.
So that's going to lead me into my first question. You know, having that much work, how do you not like wear down during the regular season?
I take care of my body very well, which is what you have to do when you're a pitcher. You have to take care of yourself to not, like, as you said, break down. And I think another part of it is the mental aspect of it. And I really try to be very strong mentally, which also helps with how much we play during the regular season. And, like, I don't know how hard it is to have so many games every week.
So, talking
You know,
about the regular season, go ahead, Mark.
Edward, I'll let you finish. You know, Danny, you're a junior, right?
I'm a junior.
Uh, this is a young female talking about her right mindset, taking care of her body, doing the right things for her body, and stuff like that. And here I am, almost 51-year old. I ate at McDonald's this morning. I don't know why I ate for dinner here. I probably TV dinner. And you're talking about somebody that young that's worried about her mind, body, all that, keeping all that to where it needs to be at this age. She's liable to live to be 200-year old. I'm serious. I'm just saying it's unreal. The just uh honestly, whenever I was your age, Eddie, I was you was light years above me. I wish I had your mind frame at your age. I wish I would have had that.
Well, that has been preached to me since I started playing, since I started pitching. Um, Coach White, she always said, you have to have the right mindset. You have to take care of your body if you want to go far and you want to keep doing this.
Wow, it was.
But I got to ask you because I have to ask everybody this question that plays like travel ball and AAU because they didn't have that around back in my time. But what is one of the biggest differences that you see between playing travel ball and AAU versus playing the varsity style?
Well, in high school, you play basically the same people every year. Playing travel ball, it helps me just get you see a lot different kind of players. As a pitcher, you see a lot of different hitters. And as a hitter, you see a lot of different pitchers, which helps me go into high school season because in those games I can think oh, this girl pitches like whoever, and I'll have the mindset of, oh, this game, hit the pitcher how you would hit her. And the same thing as a hitter, or as a pitcher, you see a hitter that you recognize somebody that hits like somebody else, and you're like, oh, okay, I know how to pitch her. I know what to throw her, what her weakness is.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense, but I don't know how much you pay attention to stats. But at my age, that's about the only thing I can really do is look at stats. But last season you ended with 127 strikeouts, and right now you've still got a half a season to go, and you're already with one game missing being reported. You're at 101 strikeouts right now. So that right there shows you the work that you've put in definitely during the off season. But you was talking about only taking about 6 weeks off. So is softball basically like the only sport that you play?
Yeah, it is the only sport I play.
All right. And I am looking at your schedule here, and I'd like to get your thoughts on how your team has changed from like the very beginning of the season till right now.
At the beginning, the first week, we had a bad game, we had a good game, and then as soon as we played the championship game of the 2A and then we went to Florida, we kind of started going a little downhill. But I think when we got our first game at home against Linkamp, I think that really helped us turn it around. We've been playing a lot better since then. We've been playing more together. We've just had games that most of us are on, like we're all hitting good, we're all playing good defense, or it's all happening at the same time.
So I might have to ask you because I see that you played, a bunch of quite a few teams at the Florida Softball Beach Bash, and you've played in the Capital City Showcase. How does playing, that level of competition help you when you come back to playing in district time?
Well, sorry. It just helps us, like, when you play those kind of teams that are very, very good, have very good pitching, very good hitting, it just makes you want to compete more. So once you get that competitive mentality, when you come to in-district play and region play, you want to compete the same way that you compete in those high situation, like high top-ranked team games.
And I have to ask you, being up there at Florida, and I think it was at Fort Walton Beach, if I'm not mistaken. So, how hard is it to stay focused on that you have, another game coming up, and not to be focused on being like I know if I was up there being a high school kid, I'd want to be worried about being at the beach and swimming and doing things that I couldn't do, back at home. So, how hard was it to stay kind of focused for the game?
Me personally, I've played at the beach before that we go with my travel team, so it wasn't really a new situation for me. But it still is a little hard to like get your mindset off of the beach and think, oh, I have to go play a game and I have to compete my hardest as if I were home. So it's just, and that's another thing about your mindset. You have to have the right mindset going into every game. You have to be all there mentally so you can compete at the highest level.
Well, see, Mark, you're done already. There's no way you can do it. She said you
No,
had to be mentally, so you done messed up unless they got Taco Bell sitting next to the batter or something.
that's why I'm saying I like candy bars and cereal and all that stuff. I can't eat the fruits and vegetables, and like I said, I could learn from Danny, get my body right and all that stuff. Yeah, but
You're still gonna eat Taco Bell.
yeah, I probably would. Uh, eh, do you ever want to sneak like every now and then a candy bar or something like that? Like this thing? But are you always just set
Oh,
to the?
oh no, I do all the time.
So, well, we had the deal. You know what I'm talking about. You know, like the little white candy bars are sold at schools. That said the world's finest
Mm-hmm.
chocolate. So,
Yeah.
which ones do you like?
Oh, I get the caramel ones.
Thank you,
You
Danny.
just
Thank
made his
you.
head go 10 times bigger now.
Thank you. Thank you.
So he ain't gonna be able to fit out his door now.
Uh, Gotta ask you a couple quick. Well, I know it's Ryan's turn. Ryan, are you lined out now? You got your internet?
I guess so. I don't know what it's doing not.
Yeah, it's pretty rough sounding still yet.
Well,
But
I'll try to get it out. If not, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But what's the difference in playing on grass and playing on y'all through turf field?
Okay,
can you
I
hear him,
don't know
Danny?
that I can understand
Yeah,
all of it.
Yeah.
I'm just getting
He
bits and
said,
pieces.
I think what he said. What's the difference on playing on like a grass field versus playing on a turf field?
Oh yeah. So we've had dirt up until this year, and really the only times that we've played on turf are when we played region at LMU, and when we played in Owensboro a couple of years ago. So those were really the only times that we've played on turf. Um, but my personal preference, I do like playing on turf better. I like pitching on turf because I like a flat mound. A lot of people like to dig a hole, but I like it. I like my flat surface. So I do like playing on turf a lot better than I do dirt.
So does turf like make everything move faster, or is it like slow it down, or is it basically the same?
Well, if you hit a ball really hard, it's going to move a lot faster. It's going to hit the turf and it's going to bounce. But a good thing about turf is you can kind of time the bounce, because on dirt you have no idea what it's going to hit. If it's going to hit a rock, a weird place in the dirt, but on the turf you can kind of anticipate where it's going to bounce, as on dirt you really can't.
So Ryan, you got anything else? I'll try to see if I can hear it out. Yeah, he just disappeared.
Danny, I can't let you go without you telling us a little bit about the Corbin Angels.
Oh, okay. Well, that was the very first time that I had really played softball. I played t-ball when I was 4, but after that I got into gymnastics and kind of shied away from softball. But all of my friends had been playing and they asked me if I wanted to play, so I did. And then that's when I started pitching.
The deal about gymnastics, and I'm not going to tell you where I got my sources from, but Edward, when she spoke of gymnastics, not one, not two, but 3-time state champion in gymnastics.
I started gymnastics when I was 6 and did it for about 5 or 6 years, and I competed. I was a 3-time state champion.
So is that something that you still do? I think was getting ready to ask the same question.
Yeah.
Well, I don't do it all the time. I haven't been to a gym in forever, but I'll still flip sometimes. I can still flip, but other than that, I really don't do anything related to it.
And again, nobody's been watching Corbin softball. Let's see that you might have a sort of a nickname with you. Could you tell us how all that started?
I do. So my nickname is D-Train. I got that from Coach White when I was probably 10. I started doing pitching lessons with her, and that's what her dad called her. So that's what she started calling me. So I've kind of carried on the nickname.
So would Coach Stidham allow you to put D train on the back of your jersey or anything like that?
Definitely not. No.
Have you ever asked her, or you just wouldn't do it?
No, I haven't asked her, but I don't know. We don't do names on the back of our jerseys, so I don't think she'd be too keen on that idea.
I mean, I would if I had a nickname like that. I'd definitely want to put it on mine. But yeah, that would be very catchy. I gotta ask you a question. I might be off the wall question, but you ever do your work at school and you know where you have to put your name on the top? You just put D train on it just by mistake.
I've never done that.
I know I would do. I would have to do something like that.
I think I would sign every one of them that way.
I would. That I like that nickname, but
Well, there's only a select few people that do still call me that. But
so do you like the nickname, or do you just rather be called Danny?
It doesn't matter to me. Whatever.
Well, Everett, I'll let you and Ryan. I think Ryan's left the building. He's going to get his internet fixed one way or the other. He has to go across the street. Ryan, are you with us now?
I went outside.
That's a little bit better. You're still echoing a little bit, but sounding better.
But I've got a couple questions I always have to ask every student athlete that comes on. What has been your most favorite game that you have played in?
I'd say my favorite game was the region championship, my freshman year when we beat North.
You know, anytime when the word championship's involved, I mean, that's always going to be a great game.
Yep.
And your time playing, who has been either your most favorite player or team to play against?
I'd say again, my favorite team to play against is North. It's or South. They're both always competitive games. I have friends that play for both teams, so it's fun playing against your friends and competing and battling out to the end.
So I got to ask you one more question. This is normally a Mark question, and he didn't ask. So I'm disappointed in him. But are you when you're on the mound or at the plate? Are you a trash talker?
No, not at all.
So see, like if I beat Mark and he was over there crying or something like that, I'd pick him up, trip him, kick dirt on him, and just be making funny faces at him. And so you don't do all that. You just let your game do the talking.
Exactly.
For me, if I had your talent, I'd be up there eating the caramel candy bars, striking people out, pointing at them. Yeah, that's why. But I don't have that kind of talent. But I know I would. If I beat Edward at something, and he over there in the corner crying, I'm kicking him. I would. I'd just kick him. That's just me showing my love to Edward.
I don't think that's what they call it these days.
Right? Are you still echoing, or what's going on with you out there? You're outside the yard. You've had a rough night.
I don't know what it is about my internet. Been
It's
acting
it's
up.
still it sounded pretty rough. Well, mine was doing that last week. The joys of live streaming, Danny. It's normally my internet, or it's Edward's internet, or Ryan's internet, or Facebook saying it's a third party thing that we have to share 15 different things to even be able to do these shows. So it's always something really really lovely like that.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but right now we're dealing with a StreamYard issue. Yeah, I don't even want to get into that because it gives me a headache. But I got to bring this up to you. I'm hearing that you know, about a NFL team that you might like, and unfortunately, I might be like my favorite team might be their rivals. So I don't think I need to be chanting "Who Dey" here, do I?
No, probably not. If you'd see the room that I was in right now.
Yeah, I just found out that her favorite team's like my biggest rivals, and the conversation I had today. Me being a Cincinnati fan, all my friends are Pittsburgh Steelers fans. I've taken a lot of beatings over the years. I mean, a lot of beatings. Yeah, so yeah. So you have something to be proud about. Like, you just got what, 6 Super Bowls or something like that. I just want one. I just want one. But I ain't ever going to see it. But I will start crying. I can't compete in Pittsburgh. I can't. But,
Don't
but
forget, we do
Ryan,
got something to show her.
yeah, that's what I was fixing to say. Danny, Edward likes to make things up for you, and because we're really, really appreciative of not only you but the other 2 athletes for coming on, giving us your time, and we have fun talking to you, and we try to make this as fun as we can for you. You're under enough baseball, softball, school stuff. You don't need a bunch of old guys. "Oh, like, tell us about break this game down." No. If we can help you laugh, I think we did our job. But Edward likes to do things for you, and I think he does a pretty good job, and I think he's fixing to post it here. And this thing will be shareable for you or your family or your friends, whatever.
hmm I like it. It looks very good.
Well, I appreciate it.
He'll make that shareable to you and on the page and to you personally, your family, whatever. If anyone others want to use it, he puts a lot of thought in it, and I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but might be seeing you really really soon. Or should I just go ahead and let the cat out of the bag? Edward, it's your
I
call.
mean, I mean, you can if you want to.
Go ahead, Edward. I'll let you say it.
Well, if I ain't mistaken, I believe it's Monday.
Yep. Getting Sue
So we'll
travel to
be.
Pineville, right? Okay. You might have some people that are covered that game.
It'll be
But
a good.
we won't be sitting there waving at you or anything, trying to distract you or anything like that. I promise.
We might offer you some popcorn or something like that, but
So would you eat popcorn on the mound and still try to strike people out, or no?
I think that would end very badly.
When you're on the mound, are you spitting out sunflower seeds and still striking people out, or you just chew bubble gum or any of that stuff?
I do chew gum when I pitch. I do.
So you don't do the sunflower seeds all over the place? Okay.
Nope, I'm not a sunflower seed girl.
I believe I'd be dumping them out everywhere just so that people could trip over them.
Would Coach get mad at you if you spit it like 1,000 sunflower seeds all over the turf there? Would she?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But Edward, Ryan, do you have anything else for her before we let her go?
I just want to thank her for coming on and wishing her the best of luck the remaining part of the season, and excited to get to see them down at Pineville Monday.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
And of course, Ryan sounds perfect now at the end of the show here. Danny,
Technology for you.
I think Ryan was putting all this on here. We'll blame Ryan on this.
Well, I did have a setting issue that my echo thing was turned off. I guess. I don't know.
That might have been it, Ryan.
that probably could have been it. But Danny, thank you for coming on. It's been a joy having you on the show, and thank you for again just giving us your time. I know you got other life issues going on, school, softball, stuff like that. But just cannot wait to see what your future holds. And you're just absolutely getting at it this year. And another little stat that I see also on here, I mean, we're not getting all the reports. We're seeing like 14 walks. So allegedly, you've got a really, really good eye on the ball, or these teams don't want to pitch it to you. So that speaks for itself right there. Maybe a little bit of fear with other teams, like, oh, should we even pitch to this girl at this point in time? But whatever you're doing, just keep on keeping on, and the future's bright for you and your Corbin Red Hounds, and just keep rolling.
Thank you.
That was a great interview. I like that. I really did like that. I love Coach Stidham down there, and she always makes it fun for her team, and just think the world of them. That's going to be a good clash tomorrow night. Let's be honest. That's going to be two heavyweights going at it next tomorrow night.
I agree 100%. I mean, it's going to be a heavyweight battle tomorrow.
Can you imagine Rachel against Danny? I mean, I'm telling you, that's going to be a game within a game right there, and just two of the 13th region heavyweights going at it, and hopefully is the weather supposed to be pretty? I haven't looked at the weather.
I haven't looked at it either.
I haven't looked at it much.
But that should absolutely that's going to be very interesting. But let's again before we put our top 10 rankings up. Big shout out to Bryant Family Medicine for again sponsoring this show. A big shout out to all of our viewers tonight. And,
well, we just got a comment from Robert Daniels saying it's going to be 79 tomorrow. So it's going to be some good. It's going to be some good softball, baseball weather.
So, are you going to bring us like a gallon of iced tea to drink tomorrow, Edward? McDonald's?
No, since this is your first time traveling down this way, I figured you was going to buy me something.
Well, I did buy you some Skittles there the other day,
Actually, I'm pretty sure I bought those Skittles.
but they was
You was
pretty
just
good.
eating them.
They was uh, Ryan telling that there's if you take the Skittles are automatically yours, right?
I'd probably be eating them too.
Yeah. See, so
I love
that's it.
Skittles.
But now that's going to be a heavyweight fight. Let's be honest. You're talking about two of the 13th region's finest, and they're going to be going out. That's going to be a good old good in there tomorrow, and um, hopefully. If Lord willing, and if I get off of work early enough, yeah, hopefully I do get down there, and I cannot wait to get down there too, and especially as much love as Pineapple Nation has showed us, and very deserving, and can't wait to see a good old good, and hopefully Edward feeds me while I'm down there.
What he ain't telling you is I had to bribe him with $20 to come down. It's just the way the Wizard market does there. He's got to be bribed a little bit. So Ryan's going to buy him a hot dog.
Now Ryan's the one not showing up. Robert, you need to get on the Ryan there. He's the one not showing up tomorrow.
I do got to work.
Well, we all got jobs, right?
We do, but again, I'm excited to go down there, get to see great
I
pictures still going on, and
am too. Rachel Howard, the D Train. What else can you say right there? You're talking, like I said, to the 13th region's finest, and it's going to be a war. It's going to be a war. Pavel's going to be ready. Corbin's going to be ready. It's going to be two good teams going at each other. It just the way it is. It's going to be beautiful weather.
we done who knows who likes to cover our lady lines, our big guy Ed. That's right. See, Mark, I get out. I go cover.
Well, that's actually because you live like 2 minutes away from them.
Actually, I
Tell
live
him,
farther
Ryan.
than that. I
Tell
live in
him, Ryan.
Middlesboro. I live in Middlesboro, get home at 5:35, and still make it to Pineville before the game starts. That's the kind of dedication that I get.
Ryan, tell him that's his story and he's sticking to it, right?
I do what I'm the same way. I do the best where I can go and everything like that.
See, Ryan's playing Mr. Politician while he's playing.
See, even my camera guy comes there. Chris even comes down there and covers it.
Yeah, but Chris ain't as pretty as me though. I look good on camera.
Somebody's been lying to you, Mark.
It sounded good. It sounded good. But are you ready for top 10 rankings? But really can't wait to get down there for sure tomorrow. And again, it's going to be into the finals, and it's going to be just a good old good, almost 80-degree weather, and just sort of what life's supposed to be. Get out, breathe, and just enjoy a good old good. But that being said, let's start with there. If I can pull this up, and actually my internet's actually working pretty good tonight. Our Bryant Family Medicine All Sports Media Top 10 13th Region Baseball Rankings. At 1, we got Whitley County. At 2, we got Corbin. At 3, we got South Florida. At 4, we got Clay County. At 5, we got Bell County. 6, Stock Central. 7, Harlan County. 8, Harlan. 9, North Laurel. 10, Farwell. I know you're going to speak a little bit about Bell. You or Ryan, either one, Edward, because they're very deserving to be talked a little bit about. I'm going to hark back to Whitley County. It's like Whitley County's starting to flex their muscles, folks. We just had Hunter on there with them 24-inch pythons, and I'm just telling you, it just seems like, watch out. Whitley's starting to flex that muscle. They're looking really, really good going down the stretch right now.
Well, I will talk about Bell County a little bit because I have got to get up there and cover them a few times in baseball this season. And, just the turnaround that they have made from last season to this season speaks for itself. I mean, coming into this season, did anybody honestly have Bell County projected to be in the top 5 in anybody's ranking
No, no.
from the way that they had from the season they had last year? And having that kind of turnaround,
drastic
I mean that is drastic. And I have to go on and say, that's because of their freshmen are now sophomores. You have players like Cooper Brock, you have Jackson Walters, you have Blake Burnett, and everybody I'm naming off is basically all sophomores. I think they only got one senior, which is Daniel Thomas. But you can't say nothing. You can't go into speaking without going to talking about Harlan County either. I've watched them perform, and I mean they're a really solid squad also.
And this is another comment by Robert. Robert knows this stuff for sure. And one thing I got to say about Robert, you just gotta love this guy. You gotta love his heart. And I don't know him as well as you do, Edward, but I've got to love him, and just it's hard not to love him. But he knows his stuff too. Bell's baseball coach is one of the best to do it. He can turn any program around, and like I said, that's a man that knows what he's saying.
And I would have to absolutely agree with him.
Ryan?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at several different types of teams here. I'm looking at 1, 2, and 3, all out of that 50th district, and then looking at 5, 7, and 8 is all out of that 52nd district. And that just shows you how good them districts are. But when you have 3 teams right there in the rankings together.
Yes, and that's what else can you say? And you close right with them, and there's not much drop off of any of them teams. But that being said, let's go into our Bryant Family Medicine All Sports Media Top 10 13th Region Softball Rankings. And Ryan and Edward, I'm sure you agree with me. These things are hard to vote for. They just are.
Yes, they are.
But at the end of the day, it's all opinionated. There's not a single coach in the 13th region would probably not even really care about them. I mean, it's all about not how they finish. Not how they start, but how they finish. And but these rankings are hard. But let's go with it. At number 1, we got South Laurel. At number 2, we got Corbin. At number 3, we got North Laurel. At number 4, Jackson County, which made a really, really good run at the All A tournament there, and made it to the second day. And they had everything. And we just had a really good like motorcycle or something there in the background. But Jackson County has nothing to hang their head about the performance that they did in the All A. Number 5, Pineville. Number 6, Lynn Camp. Number 7, Whitley County. 8, Clay County. 9, Harlan County. And 10, Harlan. Edward, Pineville as good as anybody, and I'm sure you'll talk a little bit about them. I'm looking at Corbin, a really, really good win. Really good win over North Laurel. Sort of. I'll be lying to you, Edward, or Ryan. I'll be lying to you if that didn't open my eyes a little bit. But that was a good win. And just like Danny said, it's probably one of them wins that can change the direction of your season and could definitely get this team rolling. But now you're looking at a Corbin team that has maybe arguably got one of their best wins of the year. Now they're traveling to Pineville playing. We all know about Pineville. So again, it don't get no easier for Corbin. And again, I'll go back to Jackson County also. A really, really good run with them in the All A. And Edward, you know firsthand the talent that was at that All A because we know how high you are at Hazard, and we just seen what happened to them today. So that just showed you the quality of the teams that was at that All A, and Jackson made us proud.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with you, but I am going to talk a little bit about that number 5 team, Pineville. You know, I don't know how much any of y'all have really looked into, their roster, but if I'm not mistaken, they have only got one senior on their entire team, and everybody else is returning next season.
Yeah, they're young. They love to coach. They love to. It's just a family atmosphere there, and it's hard not to look at that, like you said, and say, "Wow, watch out." And but
Uh,
here's a good comment by I don't want to interrupt you, Edward, but Lady Generals played with a lot of heart, and yes, they did. Absolutely, they did, and they have nothing, nothing to be ashamed about at all, Edward. And I'm sure you would agree on that.
I agree 100%, but they have nothing to hang their heads down about that. I mean, going up there and having to win 2 games, on Saturday, then turned around and having to play again on Sunday, and they played a very, very tough Hazard team.
Yeah,
But
and
you know,
and
and
Edward, they had an early turnaround, didn't they? Didn't they have like a 8 o'clock game this morning or something just unrealistic? So they played like 3 games yesterday. I think they had a really, really early morning, really early game this morning, and yeah, it has to be tough on them.
I think so. I'm not real sure without looking at the schedule, but talking about that number 5 team, and we just got a comment that said 8:30. So yeah, that was correct.
Yeah,
But that number 5 team, they are, if I'm not mistaken, if Robert Daniels is still on here, he can correct me if I'm wrong. But they are on a 5-game winning streak, and in that 5-game winning streak, they have beat a lot of quality teams like the Knox Centrals, Harlan counties, Clay counties. Very first game of the season when they didn't have that one senior on their team, they played South Laurel, and an error in the game, if I'm not mistaken, is what caused the final score to be 0-5. But Pineville hasn't shied away from any competition, and I've got down there to cover them a lot. And they do have one of the best pitchers in the region. They do have one of the best, catchers in the region. Also, I mean, you can't go without saying that. But yeah, I'm really excited about that game Monday.
yeah. You look at our all A teams. You look at the Jackson counties, the Pineville's, the Lincolns, the Harlans. Of course, we're going to talk about the bigger schools, the South, the Corbins, North, and reasonably so. But look at these small schools. They're like, hey, what about us? We're small, but we're good too. And just absolutely love this region. Absolutely love the talent in this region. Ron, man, they were jabbering to death. What's your thoughts on this?
Uh, I'm gonna look at 2 games that are some really catch my eye in these rankings. Number 1 and number 3 there in South and North plays each other, and then that Corbin Pineville game. That's 2 top 5 matchups there that
It was not.
in one night on Monday night.
Yeah,
I mean, what can you say about Monday night's 2 games there?
Clash of the you can call it the Clash of the Titans,
yeah,
Clash
yeah.
of the Heavyweights, however you want to, whichever way you want to word it. But I mean, that's going to be some big time matchups. So
And I read Robert's comment here about losing Nadine. You know, Edward, I'm sure, and Ryan, you can harp in on this too. we cover these student athletes for all these years, and uh, I'm not going to say they feel like their own, but can I use that term that you get close with these student athletes, it's just like I'm a school bus driver, and you really get close to these kids, and I know Nadine's got a bright future, and this and that, but man, it's hard to let some of them go at times.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with you. I mean, you cover them for so long and get to know them real good, and then of course you want to see them succeed and go on to the next level. But then at the same time, you're like, man, I wish I had another year or so to get to cover this student athlete because what they do is wonderful, and I got to give Robert a big shout out too. It's all fun. It's all fun and giving hard times, but there's nothing better than supporting the student athletes.
And
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree.
that's the reason why we do this, and that's what it's all about. And we'd be lying if we don't have fun with it. So even just like you, Edward, Ryan, we have our good days, we have our bad days, but we have more of our good days than we do our bad days. So I'll take the good over the bad anytime, and so I love what I'm doing, and as long as the good man above gives me oxygen in my lungs, I'll keep going until I just can't go no more. But I'm a little bit older than you fellers, and when that day comes for me, and I know it's in good hands with you, Edward. I know it's in good hands with you, Ryan. And there'll be people behind us, and we'll always try to keep the right people on board, and try to keep this going for as long as we can.
I agree. This is gonna lead into my final thoughts. You know, I say it all the time, and I'm gonna continuously say it. There's a major difference between saying that you promote and you want to recognize these student athletes and actually doing it. And there's the fine line is, if I could sit at home, do stories, shows, graphs, whatever, as easy as I do right now, I could easily just stay at my house and put all this together and go on with my business. But you truly don't get to see the hard work that the kids put in unless you're physically at the game and see all the work like Danny talked about. She takes 6 weeks off an entire year. 6 weeks off. I mean, without actually getting out to the game and seeing her perform, that's something nobody would have ever knew. I mean, you got to get out. It gives you a whole nother, I'm gonna say, respect factor when you see these kids in person and seeing the work that they put in on and off the field, the courts, you know,
And
all that.
they have fun with these interviews. We have fun with these interviews. We can make a whole bloopers reel on our interviews. I mean, literally sell DVD tapes on the mistakes and the blooper reels and just the behind the scenes stuff. The interviews are fun, folks. They're fun. They're just as fun on us as they are to student athletes. Now, some of these can just come up there and pow, 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 pow. Well, other of us is like, ah. I'm like the ah. I've made more mistakes than anybody in the world. I've did 1,000 interviews and I still mess up probably at least twice an interview.
Yeah,
And it's just, go ahead,
I'll
Jay.
go and I'll go and tell it when I was down at Lincoln the other night covering them against Middlesbrough. During the interview, I messed up at the very first of it. I forgot to say Bryant Family Medicine at the very first, so I had to say start over again.
Yeah.
And that was a blooper that
That's right.
I still got it on my phone.
That's right. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I ain't gonna be one to sit here and tell you that I don't make mistakes myself, but most time I'm nervous before about every interview But then as soon as it starts rolling, I don't know. I guess I feed off the energy of the student athlete I'm interviewing, and we just roll on with it.
Not me. I still say nervous. But Edward, do you have any more final thoughts, or Ryan, or whoever wants to go first? Edward, tell us a little bit about your show. Ryan, tell us a little bit about your plans this coming week.
Well, my show again is considered the Wednesday Sliders. I'm not I'm not going to let no cat out of the bag, but there will be a huge announcement about the Wednesday Slider. There might be a very special host that's going to be hosting the show with me, but that show leads into talking to out of region student athletes also, and that's what makes it fun being able to promote all student athletes.
And about your show there, Edward, and well, again, without letting too much out, but this host may work into a full time deal with us, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that would be that's a fun part of it. So of course, you'll still see my face on there every now and then. You'll see Ryan's face on there every now and then. It's just whenever Edward has his chill pills and he can put up either one of us and loud us on it. But yeah, but this is gonna maybe maybe take this show to the next level because it's something that hasn't been done yet, and it's something different and something going to be fun. And I can't wait till he starts announcing this. But Edward,
Candy.
any more final thoughts, or Ryan? Tell us what you're doing this week. Any final thoughts before we close the show up?
This week, due to my work schedule and everything like that, I'm not able to go earlier in the week, Dale. But weather depending, I'm going to go down and cover the Lincoln softball game versus Wayne County out of Monticello. And if I can get some kinks worked out and everything, I'm going to try to live stream it. So, but that's if I can get down there and get everything worked out. But that's the plan as of right now.
Absolutely, and hey, wish you luck on all of it. And Edward, hopefully, if Lord willing, I'm down there at the Bill to tomorrow night, and my first time covering this year, and I cannot wait to get down there. But just cannot wait. That's gonna be a good one. But I want to leave you all with this. When you and Edward, I know you're gonna. This is gonna hit you. You know where I'm coming from. But when you're an underdog, you just lay low and work. Amari Cooper. From all of us at Bryant Family Medicine, all sports media. Good night and God bless.